Hello everyone, this is Crode giving you a shoutcast in Game 3 in a series between AAA's Nerchio and EG Demuslim. Game 3 taking place here on Shakuras Plateau. Nerchio spawning as the red Zerg, meanwhile Demuslim spawning as the as the blue Zerg. Meanwhile, Nerchio spawning as the blue Zerg, Demuslim spawning as the red Zerg. Take a look at that. If you are confused, I know I am, as the Muslim has changed his race every time, and we'll see if constantly changing his race. I'm random got Zerg. I know, thanks. Okay, so apparently he just random. He didn't actually choose Zerg. He just random into Zerg. And now Nerchio knows exactly what to be looking for. You know I'm Zerg? Okay, so Demuslim is now making his way out with this one Overlord, and I guess Demuslim's just having some fun in these games so far, and it's nice to watch high-level players just having fun in StarCraft 2. The majority of us out there, I would say 99% of us out there, and play StarCraft 2 and watch StarCraft 2 because it is fun, and when a player is able to just relax and have fun, it makes for some pretty interesting matchups, as well as Demuslim going into a gas first. So it looks like it will be extractor pool. So an extractor pool to try to get the metabolic boost faster and perhaps be able to flank out Nerchio in this game. You can see Nerchio not doing the same thing. He is not getting that extractor up just quite yet. He may be trying to go for a hatchery. No, not going for a hatchery. Getting the extractor a little bit later instead. I'm assuming that Demuslim doesn't know Zerg nearly as well as Nerchio, so perhaps Demuslim is not going to know the timings and be able to execute strategies nearly as well. Now, so far, not much has really happened. We can see that there is no additional hatcheries coming into play. With 3 drones on gas, it looks like it will be a lot of Zerglings and perhaps even some Banelings and Roaches. Shakuras Plateau, a rather large map. Nerchio quickly comes in, sees that his opponent does in fact spawn as Zerg, as the Overlords are now making their way across the map, trying to get set up and in position to see when those reinforcements will be coming in. Both sides getting Zerglings, both sides getting Queens, and now metabolic boost coming in slightly more quickly for Demuslim. Demuslim should be able to put down a little bit more pressure, perhaps catch some fleeing Zerglings a little bit more easily, as it is going to be 4 Zerglings versus 4 Zerglings. We also see a Roach Warren coming in from Nerchio, so if the Roach Warren comes online much more quickly and he's able to get those roaches out, he's going to be able to get a lot more damage done, as well as he's only mining with two drones on gas. You can see the battle now happening in the middle portion of the field here. Both sides battling now. It is a Ling micro battle here, and both sides, Nerchio down to 1 Zergling, down to 7 hit points there. The metabolic boost is not going to be completed anytime soon. 2 Zerglings not getting the memo to get in front of that 1 Zergling there. And it looks like this Zergling will be able to do a bit of scouting. The drone, the drone doesn't even get the kill, as the Zerglings are just hopping around. Natural regeneration, but a Queen able to take it down. Now, Roach Warren is in fact up. We should be getting 3 Roaches out from Nerchio in just a moment, and the Roaches are going to be much more powerful in handling those Zerglings until those Zerglings can actually swarm around their target. And it looks like the Muslim is getting a lot of Zerglings, currently queuing up 6, but also going into a Roach Warren as well. The metabolic boost has been completed, I thought. No, the metabolic boost, it looked like they were walking. Yeah, they are now walking significantly more quickly, as they're going to be trying to run in, but battling against those Roaches. The Roaches able to one-shot, or 3 Roaches able to one-shot a Zergling, and now those Zerglings are forced to once again retreat. The Overlords of Nerchio pretty much giving full tactical recon on all of these Zerglings. A lot of Zerglings coming around the map, perhaps going to try to get into a nice positioning there, as the Roaches need to hold the ramp there and make sure that they do not get flanked. So a large army of Zerglings hiding off over here. They do not want to reveal themselves on accident. Nerchio does see a couple of Zerglings now swarming their way through, quickly coming over here at the Zelnaga Watchtower, and they should be trying to push it in just a moment. This hatchery could get canceled as soon as the Zerglings try to surround this location here, but they would not be in a very, very tight swarm. A Queen now making its way down as the Zerglings try to get into position. They're not going to be able to run up that ramp at all. Zerglings now trying to put some pressure onto the hatchery. The Zerglings could try to surround those Roaches. No, unable to do so, as they are just trying to back off, trying to make it so that those Roaches are going to perhaps get caught out of position. There are a lot of Roaches, though, compared to the Zerglings, and with the help of 1 armor, those Zerglings are going to have a very difficult time taking down those Roaches. Roaches do attack rather slowly compared to a Zergling, as the Zerglings now retreat home. Hatchery has been completed over here. Spine crawlers being added to the low ground. One roach on the low ground as well, as the Zerglings activating the Xel'Naga Watchtower in the middle portion of the map. A lot of roaches here. Roaches also in the backfield. Spine crawlers being added, as both sides are now trying to macro up. Harvester count 28 for Nerchio compared to 21. That is going to be a bit of a problem, but the Muslim did have his hatchery up a little bit more quickly, so he will be able to get a little bit more larva out, as the Zerglings are now trying to battle it out. But a Nerchio did have that spawn larva and that additional queen, so he will actually be able to power drone much more quickly. Production, 3 drones now being trained by Nerchio. Nerchio does not want to fall behind in the economic race, as spine crawlers being added and moved around in order to be able to protect that front door. Army compositions, you can see a slightly larger army overall by Nerchio, as he does have significantly more roaches in terms of total resources, and a spine crawler on that front door location there. The spine crawler in combination with a roach able to one-shot a Zergling, as the Zerglings are now trying to once again test the waters. Will they be able to do so? I do not believe so. There are a couple overlords in position, but the Muslim hasn't really moved them that carefully. We can also see the Muslim's queen was able to shoot down one overlord. A Zergling now trying to make its way up the ramp, realizes that it can't get up there, and then runs back rather quickly. Production, we can see 7 roaches now being trained up by the Muslim, so we're going to get a much larger army by the Muslim in just a moment. The Glio reconstitution hasn't been started, as we are not at tier 2, and that will be a problem, as Nerchio, once he gets Glio reconstitution and those roaches are able to pick off fleeing roaches, Nerchio will have a significant tech advantage. The Muslim asking for the supply of his opponent, apparently pancakes. Just as a point of reference, never tell your opponent what your supply is. Make him guess, as apparently this is just a really casual game between these two players. Nerchio and the Muslim just having a little bit of fun, as the Muslim not too happy that he is currently behind in the overall army supply. We now see 92 compared to 100. Both sides are currently supply locked. 104 compared to 108 now, so more roaches still being added. We are now getting another hatchery, so a third base being added, and Nerchio now deciding to cancel it after seeing a rather large army of roaches trying to push out, and those Zerglings getting picked off there, so 100 resources lost, as the roaches are now trying to finally back off. Roaches are still scampering about. Nerchio now getting an overseer in the middle portion of the map, should be able to do even more scouting, as well as this large army of Nerchio pushing out once more. Level 2 missile upgrades by Nerchio, so everything is going well for Nerchio. The Muslim doesn't even have the level 1 weapons upgrades started yet, so Nerchio can time a push very easily and attack with his roaches, dealing about 20% more damage, almost 25% more damage per attack, as another hatchery being placed down here at the 3 o'clock expansion location. Nerchio is in the center portion of the map. He does have that overseer just in case there are any burrowed roaches. He wants to make sure that he doesn't fall behind. Pathogen glands now being researched as well. Zerglings getting cleaned up at the Xel'Naga Watchtowers, as the Overseer now making a move. We are seeing a very large army by the Muslim. The Muslim does have some base defense working for him as well, which he will definitely need, as the Zerg Missile 2 level attack upgrades about to be completed. Roach is going to try to push up that ramp, unable to really break through, as those 2 spine crawlers, a definite boost to the DPS for the Muslims army. You can see overlords just scattered about the rest of the map here. Level 1 weapons upgrade finally being started, but stopped by an evolution, or by the corruption off of one corruptor there. So level 1 weapons upgrade even delayed even further by 30 seconds. So that will end up taking 190 game seconds overall, and that's just going to continue to add to Nerchio's advantage, as Nerchio will be able to get level 2 missile upgrades in just a moment. Infestors also being added as well, so those infestors with that fungal growth, making it so that those roaches will not be able to retreat and will hurt even more, as those roaches are armored units taking additional damage as well. I believe it's 48 damage per fungal growth. army, 3650 with a 1500 gas compared to 3700 with 1100 gas. So pretty even at this stage in the game. But Nerchio getting awfully close to 200 over 200 food. He is sitting on 60 drones and 1 base up as well. This Overseer just keeping track of the army. And Nerchio saying, you need upgrades. And Demuslim saying, yeah, I know. So just taunting his opponent even further, as he does have 2-0 upgrades compared to 1-0 upgrades at this stage. And the Roaches are now going to try to battle it out in the center portion of the field. Let's go. Battle for Middle Earth. Roaches are now trying to get into the proper position. The Overlords are in the air, getting a lot of sight, as the Infestors are now going to be able to perhaps get some fungal growth. There's 1 fungal growth, 2 fungal growths already down, and so much damage being dealt already. Roaches continuing to push, and Nerchio just having fun against his opponent now. So much damage being dealt. Infested Terrans being added to the mix, as the Roaches are both sides battling it out. Nerchio's Roaches do have that movement speed upgrade. The Muslims also has that movement speed upgrade, but getting outflanked here. Those Infestors are going to be in a bit of trouble. No, the Nerchio Infestor cheat, GG. So EG Demuslim losing all 3 games against AAA's Nerchio, but they were all very, very fun games to watch. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 game and this 3-game series between these 2 players.